There's a saying we often hear that the devil is in the detail. And the meaning of that is if you don't pay attention to the detail, you can find yourself in a load of trouble in whatever it is you're trying to attempt to do, or what project you're on, or your journey of life. But the interesting thing is that there's another saying that was first before that one came along. And the original saying is, God is in the detail. Meaning that if you pay attention to the details and you work at them and you make them part of the whole project, that good things will happen. And I thought of those two sort of sayings that are similar but different. They bring you out on a different side of things in terms of our gospel today and the last few weeks. You know, I find the gospel from last week and this week really hard, difficult, particularly this week. You know, love your enemies, pray for your persecutors. You know, if someone wants something from you, give it to them. If they want your coat or your cloak, give them their coat. I'm really happy to do that as long as it's an old coat and I have another one somewhere. You know, I'll go the extra mile, but not all the time. You know, what Jesus is asking us sometimes is very difficult. You know, I don't like pain, so if somebody hits me on one cheek, I'm not turning the other one. I don't want more pain, all right? There are times when I feel like I want an eye for an eye or a tooth for a tooth. So how do I deal with this? How do I get to the detail in a positive way? Well, I think it's because we got to bring God into these situations. We're never, ever going to do them perfectly. We strive to be perfect like our Heavenly Father, but we're never, ever really going to be perfect. But we work at it. And maybe one of the ways that helps us grow and move through these situations is prayer. You know, if we bring ourselves, if we bring that other person that we're struggling with, that person that has hurt us, that person that seems to be demanding or asking of us, to prayer, then maybe sometimes we can move through the struggle of that relationship, that difficulty, that challenge. You know, in our opening prayer, it says, concentrate on spiritual things. And then let your words and your actions reflect that. Well, I think that's what Jesus is saying. Can we find God in a situation, in a moment, in a person? And if we find God there, then that's going to push us forward, help us to grow in a very positive way as people of faith. And so as we sit on sort of the entrance into the season of Lent, that asks us to do a little bit of self-reflection as we move towards Easter. Maybe we ought to think of bringing God into the details of our life and allowing that to bring us forward as people of faith.